I have to go and
Is
look
it?
at- Yes, it is.
Okay, good. That chapter that I literally just had. Okay, you want to just quickly make noises on that or whatever.
Are you running already?
And literally just that chapter that literally. Oh, it's right here. It's come out of the moisturizer. Okay, I know you want to get to other things, but I want to kind of do things as they're transpiring, so I'll do this quickly. The other thing I was doing is I got okay.
I guess you want me to be. Does this work? Yeah, this works.
Yeah, it's probably better than sitting in the chair because then you're too far back. But I'll probably take the chair in a moment.
Okay.
When you're
Okay.
in the other room.
You might need to sit forward just a bit so the car doesn't hit me.
So the guitar doesn't hit you?
Here, let's try this. I'll just stand.
Ooh, that's a loud one. Okay. Oh, look at that! It doesn't even have to do anything special for it to do the auto scrolling properly. The only thing is, I might want to make it a bit faster. Pick is here. Okay, maybe that's too fast, but let me go to the top. It's a moderate pace song. Slow it down a couple notches. Wait a minute. That's right. Sorry, I just remembered that. Remember earlier when I said that I found the wrong one at first?
No, I don't remember that. But
there's a song called The Canvas and there's a song called The Painter.
Okay. And a song called The Can of Paint.
And the smell of the grease paint, the roar of the...
No, it's the smell
of the crowd,
roar of the grease paint. Yeah.
Oh, you've heard that one too, right? Yeah. Oh, rip my PTE. I remember, I think I put that in YouTube actually, ironically. All right, here you go. I thought it wasn't seeming familiar. Talked about the future like through a magazine period. Find the beauty in the thought of thing. Gets excited about all my dreams. Got every sunset that ever seen in her eyes. Sitting for the day are struggling high. I don't remember life before it came into picture. Like the beauty I was just with you. No because I ain't everything. She took chances. Every wall I built, I built again. So I can't. I think every day you have me. I look like even this. I don't remember life before painted pictures. Like the beauty I was missing with you. So many colors I ain't ever seen. Like your no chances. With every wall I built, not a canvas. I think I need to meet her. I feel like I really need her. I ain't never seen. Look and tell, every heart that was every. I think I did down later. Okay, thanks for the accompaniment. I was only planning to do that one particular, as far as music goes, song in this, and he's got something to do, and my fingers are a little bit stiff, and I don't know if it's the shirt that I'm wearing, which has a kind of a big collar that my neck kept, because you were playing to the side of me, not behind me, but I was feeling air on my neck, and what do you call it? And I'm gonna get you to plug this in the other room, please, and then you're gonna come and get it. You can bring it to me once it warms up. Thank you.
What? But
I'll be there in a moment.
come together.
But yeah, if you want to come and get it. So yeah, the fingers and the throat a little bit too, but I am planning to talk, so there is that. And I forgot my scarf downstairs, so I use this. What's that?
I need my dancing shoes.
Oh, you do, eh?
Remember the whole thing was is
Gonna put on my boogie shoes. Do. And yeah, trying to think. That's a commercial that didn't pick us. Anyway, but I do feel like there's many to thank because man, it's warm up here. But even though I was gonna be doing something physical, you know what? Maybe I think I'm just gonna go this way. I feel like it's gonna make more sense. And it looks better than a shirt dangling off my neck. As long as I can find it. Who was it that was mentioning? Wish I could remember who met Vince and Boom, but I do think podcast, I do think that's me, I do think Victory, I do think the channeling, I do think one of my first videos on my channel, which is known as Rabbit School Live, and I don't have a device. I don't know if actually with this device it would let us switch so that I do it there, but I still don't have a Rabbit School Live because I'm not known about it like that. But so thankful I can do it here, and I do feel like I have many angels who. But yeah, you have that plugged in, right? You have that plugged in, right? Thank you. Sorry for the short in there. You know, he just got a bit of a routine, and I didn't realize he was deficient of a dance session, but that's okay. Because like I said, I wasn't planning to do a lot more music, and we're still gonna work our way to watching the one in the next tab. And the other ones, I think it was too deep. I do hope someday you'll see them and, you know, maybe from them, whatever we're going through. But, yeah, I do want to thank my many angels, though, for getting us to do music with each other and making sure that we did get that in tonight. Although we have tomorrow and just a small task to do. It's been I did get plans done that I hoped to. And I was, I guess, realizing I'd probably do them by foot, but it was okay, and I actually felt not too bad, but my back's been a bit tender, and my shoulder's a bit tight. I can go back sides again. But for whatever reason, I'm not even entirely sure why that song came to mind today. I don't think I heard it, but maybe I did. Because it would be really otherwise random and ironic, or really otherwise random. But sometimes things are. So anywho. So, trying to remember, I think I'll remember a reminder there. I'll remember the other one. Not that I'm going to be at Clark, but I think I'll type that. And then also this. And I just want to check something here for a moment and take a sip of water. Nobody's watching right now, so I'm surprised when there was music that the person came in. So Messenger is just being weird as it normally is. My throat it really feels quite strong. I don't like tea though or sugar at this time of night, and I don't like it without sugar. And herbal tea actually, it was not caffeinated, it's doing quite sweet. And I don't know. Anyway, it's showing a picture in the corner, not name. Basically, yeah, that feels it does feel wrong. I mean, you don't spend a lot of time feeling your neck, perhaps, but so I'll try and watch that because I do want to be able to sleep. But it's a Saturday and we can sleep in tomorrow. Our plan is whenever we get around to doing it. It sounds like she's okay with just getting some video samples. So that's probably a better quality than doing it over the phone. And since we don't have a couple other video calling things, if she doesn't use Messenger, I don't know. Anywho, I found myself doing, as we get a viewer, something kind of not really that unique or whatever to me, but I found myself doing something after dinner tonight as the viewer goes right away. So I'm kind of in a mode. I'm in a mood and a mode. I also might have. It's not quite close enough that I'll. Well, and he wants to do. Oh, we have a viewer. Welcome. To do the. And I didn't want to wait. So, and he wants the room for in about an hour. So, because part of me thought, oh, keep rolling. When I do, I have a phone call I might make late tonight, and it's kind of interesting reason why it's late tonight. I'm pretty sure I hear the music, but anyway, really, it's just because it's somebody who runs a food serving business that's open late. However, I'm kind of thinking that till midnight actually they're open, which is actually fairly common in the industry. I'm kind of thinking that by 11 it might not be too late, which is 10-hour time. So that works out well actually. If it was an hour too early, it would be too early for her. An hour too late. It's kind of like this morning. It was like, oh, they just opened. So, and like 60 minutes prior to me looking it up, and we're an hour behind. And now it's like, I don't know. My mind did something kind of connected to the details earlier where it felt like it was the opposite on the other end of it. But I think I'll want to find out first if this particular person believes in the afterlife before I get her husband. Because I don't know her that well. Actually, true enough, the phone is still in here. I could call it. It's almost too bad that she operates the business because, and here it's still like winter. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will, but I don't really have any other. In case I'm going to close this, I could do it on the week when but honestly, the evenings are best for her. So what does it matter what evening it is, Because I am often kind of free and somewhat isolated during the day, but unless it's on a weekend. But yeah, so. So yeah, I was thinking of a few of my angels, and kind of feeling like I might want to bring some of them into this. It was interesting. It was very ironically serendipitous. Would be the word I believe. I was looking at like say a few series, and this is very random. I would say too, in a way. It was random that I did it. I guess because the one who is one of 22 siblings and she's the only one living, um, um, is soon to be 105, and you got to wonder how much longer she got. They didn't necessarily eat the healthiest. I know some restaurants some of them they may just have went to play cards in the food court or at the McDonald's, but that they went to quite like almost weekly because they went out on the bus every day, and they ate quite a bit of deep fried stuff, and something was keeping it. You know what I mean? 9:40. I also kind of feel slightly like even 9 or 10 o'clock might be early. I mean, I love hearing him play piano and that, but unfortunately, sometimes definitely feel like we're not getting the recognition for our talents, whether it's online or being able to get gigs. Don't do bars, don't drive, etc. If this place was local that I'm talking about, maybe they'd have us come perform on their grounds, on their property, because they have a bit of a garden in the back where they also serve. It's pretty cool. Although I don't think it looks exactly like what I remembered it being like. Like actually, they had these interesting animal statues. I remember. I don't even remember what animals. I feel there was a cow. Ironically, because they served burgers, but whatever. Maybe a pig. Ironically, because they served. They were all ones that kids could sit on, and they were pretty sturdy. I would imagine, though, that eventually they just kind of crumbled, or I don't know, they updated, and I've only been once since 2019, and I remember it was kind of getting dark then, actually, for whatever reason. We must have went for dessert after dinner, and even though it would have been in the summer, no, when the days are longer. Although I was reminded today that, like, Saskatchewan does not do daylight savings, and I think one of the things that Trump, not to talk too much about him, wanted to do away with for whatever reason, just to control something, I guess. I don't know. But basically, so I kind of feel like George and Clark might be around. And yeah, and so, and when he had a while, I could tell that he was maybe starting to get a little sad, and the people that I knew, and I was getting with that. But I don't know. I don't know. I kind of do want to preview the one that's open in the next tab. And the other stuff is really about my health. It's about deep stuff. It's about, if you have nothing else but this, if I happen to show it to him later, like, I'm not going to do anything to myself. Even though sometimes I am annoyed with the struggles I have, I also really appreciate the great things in my life, including him and Sunny. And basically, yeah, but my health might take me no matter whether I'm continuing to press on looking into it and what's happening with it or not. So just got to make the most of the time that we have. I maybe don't need to take the full one off, but most of it's brown. Every now and then I'm sitting here and it kind of catches my eye. Now that's above my head and it might be a bit distracting, but I'm not going to take it off the wall. That one doesn't keep coming up from the tape like that one does. But basically, and part of me thinks be patient, but I'm not sure if that text went through. I'm not sure if it's that kind of phone, and also I think it'd be good for us to hear each other. So, but before then, I don't want to make my voice too tired. But and I'll try just again too. But I have anything other than the radio, so if that's something, it isn't a trigger, but that's fine. So I see Clark actually, and of course it would be as they are because it's as they are. Some things don't change when a loved one passed. So I see Clark's spirit, and I don't necessarily, I actually rarely see them in angel form, even though they are. I usually see them just flash visuals of how I knew them to look in life. When I see him there, and he's kind of bopping about and waves just now, and I see George, and he just went like this, that kind of wave, which was kind of neat, unique. I don't recall if I've seen him wave. I think Lee used to, and sometimes it seems like all you have to do is mention them when they're there. When you have this ability, certainly, I don't necessarily channel as often as I would like, but I wouldn't want to do it every day for myself or others, and it just happens to be mostly my own loved ones. But yeah, it's basically and Michelle, and she says, "Oh, can I go first? Can I go first? Because as he knows, I have to get to something soon." Um, she says that she wants to spend a bit of time. It will have just started about 40 minutes ago, but I don't know how to if I necessarily agree or believe in or whatever that time is different there, or maybe time isn't a thing there. But they know when their loved ones are doing something special for them, or just in general, or needing them, always around, right? So basically, she actually has a late 3 or 4 days late birthday celebration at one of her old workplaces, and first of all, Michelle, even though it wasn't anything hugely deep, the interesting conversations connected to that most recent um, signing. And out of pure curiosity, I kind of just want to look and see because, and I didn't know that got put into the room, but I did know, but I didn't at first. Um, okay, cool, and that's under that account. Um, I don't know if it's somebody that I would otherwise connect with. What am I looking up? Don't recall. I don't want to get distracted. Well, I mean, she may not be the smartest, but I don't know if she can understand this or not. But there was actually, I don't know whatever happened to her, but there was a Pat, unless she's been just along the top, but she was never shy to comment. There was, and I don't really insist too much, there was actually been kind of spreading the word about Taryn quite a bit on social media. Not blind guy, although you might be able to tell looking. Okay, so that's just gonna have to do because I don't want to be too distracted. Nobody else is watching, but no, there was something, and it might make sense if I look back at this that I wanted to try and remember to look up, and can't remember at the moment. So that's fine. But before I forget, I do want to say I can't remember. Also, can't remember. There seems to be a couple things that kind of caught my ear happening on the radio that were kind of symbolic, but also just chapstick. But also, it was in my on 2 accounts because I have an account for something else that don't go on to very often lately, and hardly ever comment with. And but what I commented tonight, the person would understand, maybe why they were seeing things the way they were seeing, because it's a particular type of journey, basically. But yeah, so um, one of my loved ones, I don't know if I'd call him a loved one. He was kind of an acquaintance, but I met him a few times. Was a clown, and at his funeral they had clown noses to hand out. And so I was looking at his obituary, and then a little while later, not looking him up, not that Facebook would necessarily know this about him, it shows me a clown who I want to say it said I went from it, and I don't remember what his name was. I almost do. I remember the last name actually because it makes me think of someone that I kind of knew when I was a kid, and also a garden center nearby. But I don't. Yes, I do remember. Just a moment here. He last posted in 2024 though, and so I don't know if he's around or not. But I don't know him really. Um, but yeah, and his profile picture, he's in a clown outfit. So it's yeah, he's from a place where we actually have somebody, first time perhaps ever, that's wanting to be buy something from us. Um, almost went back too far. And this guy, he had to think about 400 or 500 people on his list, but only yeah, it looks like he actually did pass away. That doesn't quite look like the same guy. But I thought that I remember seeing something about Alberta. Diabetes and kidney, heart and stroke. Okay. Yeah, I only had one listed relative, so it's gonna be. Anyway, this it's just yeah. That doesn't say anything. I swear it said high river though. I don't know if it's the same one or not, but whatever. Okay, so I just have to go to the other room briefly. Nobody's watching right now. Oh, I haven't seen that kind of plant in a while. I believe it's succulent. And then, yeah. I'll be right back. No, it's the same guy. Living in various different places. Okay, that'll just get muted if YouTube doesn't like it. Okay, so 9:30, maybe sooner. I said, but it's actually 9 now. Okay, well, possibly. 9 will be 10 there. Honestly, how busy can they be at 10 o'clock? You know. Basically, though, I do sense that for now, George says, you know what, I can come visit you later if you're too distracted right now. I just wanted to say hello, sir. You know, actually, one of the testing places, they kept calling me her friend. She made some great English. And I'll remember to enjoy this life you have while you have it, like you said. And I wish you all the best with your music as well, always. And yeah, you guys take care. Until again. Wow. And sometimes it's like as soon as I verbalize it, it's like, yeah, he would talk like that. Come to think of it, even if I didn't know him strongly well. But as far as okay, sorry, I didn't let Ray come in say anything. She just says never feel bad about not being able to get to karaoke things in general. Sorry, I still hear the music over there, and I don't mind it. I don't know if YouTube can pick it up, and if it might mind it, but and I understand. Now, something actually I almost forgot, kind of connected to her that I want to kind of mention is that covered a lot in just 30 minutes. I messaged her dad. Okay, now it shows up. And apparently I sent back in 2023 too. And now whatever note was there, whatever it was, and he's reacted to recent posts of hers. Yeah, he already said that. This is interesting. So initially the message didn't show up. None of them did, so I didn't know that I'd sent him back then. And I thought but interestingly, it flashed for a moment. And so I thought, that's weird. Like it just shows for a moment and then doesn't. And I thought, and yeah, he's been good about having that there. I guess it's not hugely in the way. Whoops. And I kind of felt, this isn't as warm as I thought it was, whatever. If I sit pretty firm against it, it's fine. I kind of thought that, I don't know if I should tell him about the play. I don't. But anyway, that she was trying to decide whether she wanted that message to go through or not. And now it has. And I thought it was going to be deep, and whether it is, I don't know. But and I might have to do, like I say, I think George already left. He'll keep me company on another day. That's fine when I'm able to kind of signs or whatever, Facebook. As far as some of you may even be able to see the email just attached to this, and then no need transfer. As far as Clark, he seems to be sitting in an armchair that isn't actually there, but that's what I'm seeing. And he's just got his hands in his lap, and he's smiling, and seems like he's and just gave me the thumbs up. He was I don't know if that'll sound like somebody who was a bit of a character, but he was. And he's like, oh boy, wow. Another part of his ways. And he says, whoo. Yeah, it was interesting to reread his obituary. Anyway, point of the matter is that I feel like Ray is just simply saying, if you felt like you were comfortable and wanted to reach out to my dad, and yeah, it's the dad, not the uncle, but I might reach out to the uncle too, then cool. I mean, they are, at times they get into spats, but, and some would say that's normal, but I don't know. I really think some families aren't like that very often. And she says, but you know what? They do still have connection, as do you and your mother. And she says that that's not going to change. She says, you don't have to talk to anybody you don't want to talk to. They may or may not be interested. So realize that, bud. And that was a bit of a trigger today, but I'll get past it, and I appreciate it. Bro, whatever, my friend. She says, it was very interesting. On the way, I talked to a random person at something I called named Tatiana, and that was 3 days ago. Tatiana commented her thing. And it's kind of a unique name. Actually, that's what I was going to look up just quickly. But before I do, funny, I just happened upon a thing on Reddit earlier. I typed something random in, it found something random, and it's before I forget again. Right. Um, um, that's right. I did look it up, but it didn't find any local. Or maybe she's not local. Must be a different one. I don't remember that being the last name. Is true. Anyway, it's something about how somebody got fired for drawing on the inside of a pizza box they delivered. We actually had leftover pizza tonight. We still have some. So these meals that we're getting are lasting us 3 days. And it's a unicorn. And obviously, Boston doesn't have a sense of humor. But at the same time, some customers won't appreciate that kind of thing. And then they might lose customers. But somebody said that they decide how much they like it if different pizza places based almost entirely on how well they respond to requests to draw things on the box. I'm serious. I don't like Domino's pizza, and ironically, Neat's cousin, or Clark's cousin, I believe, and he has a name as well. And him and his brother died at the same age, but years apart. Anyway, basically, said something about how, or there was this random, clean looking, but albeit still, I don't know whether I would give up bad is. It's cotton, so I was testing. I was there today. A Band-Aid. It was really weird. But anyway, this is what's it called? Got this from Pizza Hut about a year ago, which is actually well, that's what I typed it in. Yeah, saw it while looking back at old pics. I want to look back at that conversation later. I don't really post on Reddit, and I don't really know if I know how to, but I also have a review to write, and I'm going to work my way through the tabs and yada yada. But yeah, basically, yeah, she's just saying, I mean, he may have eventually seen your message anyway that you sent from back then. It says Facebook user when I start to scroll down, but at the top it says his name. It doesn't show. Oh, and when I scroll down, it also shows his picture. It does that sometimes. My most recent messages will say that, or say, that I realized she passed away. But so we'll see, and I'll decide about sending the uncle. It sounds like she supports if I don't want to reach out to the sister. She says, but I really miss my family. They were my rock, she actually says. And then I feel like it was my own head, and she picked up on it saying, you're rock and roll. And then I heard her cute little laugh. Yeah, pretty much, she says. And you have a lovely ability, my friend. And I hope that you not only continue to get something from it yourself, but are able to help more people with it. You deserve to do well in life, she says. And I know that you've got a good heart, and that your intent is pure, and that she says. And if you can kind of help me get messages to my loved ones at some point, I'd be very happy. I still have to look back at, and I might include in this. We'll see if I can reach the one I was thinking of calling. But I also don't know if I'd gotten it to scroll all the way. It kept its spot, but I think, yeah, it's further up, and it got rid of the memo. So what I want to do now, it's actually 10:08 in the place I want to call. But it's 9:08 here. I've got about 20 minutes. You never know how things are going to unfold in life, right? I wasn't going to call till 10, but I'll just say, did you get my text? Were you able to audio? Hi, this is Air Freeze. I'm wondering, is Arlene available? Is Arlene available at the moment? Thanks. Yeah, sure.
May I ask why?
It's an old friend of hers. I'm now in another province, but I just wanted to reconnect with her and also wanted to order one of the shirts and such. So, okay. Okay, viewer. Hi. I'm just in the middle of something. I'll get back to things in a moment here. But maybe check out one of the other ones, and then you're welcome to come back to this one. Just okay. Whew. I don't remember ever seeing anybody answering the phone before. Black. Sport gray is the second one. It doesn't seem to look that close to what the second one looks like. I think it's actually got it reversed. Yeah. I thought that it would say the particular one. Oh, the 1950, right? I also don't want to tie up the business line. It's also bad. Whew. Hello, can you hear me? Hi. Maybe check out one of the previous ones and come back. I just have a bit of a distraction at the moment, but unless you don't mind sitting here through it, I don't mind. But it might be better if you watch one of the other ones. But I kind of wanted to get this part in here just for my looking back, if there's anything.
Hello?
Hi. Is it? Yeah, totally. It's Corey, and it's Leslie and Gary Reed's son. And number is 204-942-2881. And I did try connecting this number, but I'm not sure if this is really 204. So he wasn't really hearing that I said that she could also send. He wasn't really hearing that. Well, it won't be on this one. That I was saying she could also send this number that I tried to text. If that works, then that's fine too. Because I'm thinking I did, and I also tried to say it was a landline. So it wasn't really that long. It seemed like a long time, and I was hearing background noises. But considering that things are pretty busy there, it really wasn't all that long. I waited. I think it was a total of a 6-minute call. I wasn't on hold at all. He answered with the name of the. Oh no, he actually didn't. I remember that. I don't know why this shirt suddenly seems like it's extra stretched. But he said, "What can I get you?" Says the owner. It's nothing bad. No, that's what he could have said. Nothing bad. But she says, and then he went away. I thought I heard him talking to her. It must have been some other woman or something. And yeah, I was gonna holler, I can leave a message if that's easier. But eventually, about 4-minute mark, he came back at 2. So after 2 minutes, and took one. So I'm cool with that. In fact, one thing I want to do is, and hopefully it'll send through. Did that send through? Yeah, it did. Who was it? Just quickly here. I just didn't want some of my personal details to be put here, but I pretty much just said who I was. I said who my parents were. I said something about wanting to reconnect, and that's true. I wasn't super close with her, but she was kind of close with my parents, I think. a little bit. And so she, I mean, I knew of this person because yeah, I was just trying a different method first, and then wasn't really getting anywhere. So then I was trying a different method. So good to have said that, just in case she then goes and approaches her when we've already made contact, or now that that's been done. So we have somebody here, and sorry for the distraction there. However, and he's going to want to come into this room soon. And we actually have two people though. He used to dance quite a bit in that, do his fitness thing quite a bit in that room. But yeah, basically, I guess I actually might be up to. I know I was feeling kind of stiff joints in my hand, a bit of a sore throat, this and that. If you have a song request, or if there's a particular loved one you'd like to hear from, if you haven't seen my channel before, and it's mostly for my own loved ones, and I know how real it's felt, I know how healing it's been, and occasionally I do it for other people too, but I actually do feel those who have passed on, and would be happy to channel a message if there's someone you'd like to hear from. Just so happen to put on a scarf. It's not like I'm just going to put on my costume now, But and I'm also going to just quickly check to see that I do have it so that the comments display, because there's different settings here. Top chat, fan funding. I'm not sure what that is. Stickers, channel member. I don't know what that is. One thing I can do. So I just wanted to quickly look because, well, I hope it won't be an issue that I posted to a group from my hometown trying to reconnect with this person. It was just the first thing I tried. I'm sure lots of people talk about the business that she has, that they had. I mean, in half an hour, their grand opening post had, in a small town, although there was other small towns around it, I guess, like something like 400 and almost 450 reactions, hearts, likes mostly. I think I read a couple of iffy reviews, but I think those must have just been people from out of town that had never been there before because they've been in business for 60, 70 years, something like that. Anyway, we have, I don't know if Vincent might be one of the people, and if whoever's viewing would like to hear the song Starry, Starry Night, paint your palette blue and gray, I could possibly do that on the guitar. It's kind of ironic, actually. And I can't believe I never thought to call the place, other than the fact that they're busy. They're not local, and I don't know. Oddly didn't come to mind. But it's kind of ironic. And I know that this could be a deep topic, and Glenn's going to be in the room soon, and that. But see, I would hate to pick up on stuff and then find out, well, if she's religious, she believes in the afterlife, but she might not be cool with this. But some religious people are, and I think that's beautiful because I think they can coexist. I know they can. I feel they can. Am I strongly, hugely religious? I believe in a creator. I believe in an afterlife, obviously, and in a godlike person and goddesses, perhaps, or being, as I do angels. But would I say he's almighty? No. How could you be in a world that's as big and chaotic and busy and beautiful and sad as ours, and clearly, doesn't have complete control, otherwise bad things wouldn't happen, right? So it's kind of like, but and I try and respect people's differences as well. But yeah, basically, I don't think I've been super obvious as to the place that this couple owned, their names, anything like that. Even this detail may or may not be that specific. And there were articles, and I looked at them a few days ago, and I might look at them again, as well as his obituary. Yeah, he's still doing his music stuff. Because sadly, one of the co-owners, the husband and wife, and their kids helped a little bit, their two daughters, I think, passed away in, I believe, 2020 of suicide. My guess is, not knowing them super well, hadn't really been in much contact with them for years, is they had a big outdoor property in the back where people could dine, and they had, but they just couldn't congregate that many people around each other because there was some indoor spots, and some people would eat in their car. They could have just closed that one area. I don't know. I wasn't living there at the time. I luckily got to go there in 2019, but for whatever reason, maybe just because businesses had to do this, they had to close. And I think that Mike saw their livelihood of their family, which was very prosperous, as failing and not. I don't know what they did in the winter. Like they just opened a few days ago. Things were starting to melt here where I live now, and then we got a bunch of snow. You know, I mean, they must have done something in the winter months, or maybe not. Maybe they did well enough that they didn't have to work in the winter. Point of the matter is, and so he also had, and again, this isn't that specific, I think, but it's the case with this. A special needs son, and I guess as we lost both viewers, but they were here for a little while. Some mental health demons that he was battling. Or maybe it was just that, and that's all it took. There are, I've found out, men's mental health groups in person and online. And it's interesting for me to be reminded because I guess I'm not old enough and I don't think it depends on the person. I don't think it's as much like this with the different resources that are out there with whatever, but men not talking about their feelings and stuff. Yeah, that was a weird post about that stuff on that park bench. And then we found those keys, and now they just haven't emailed us back, but they thought they knew the owner. They're right here from them, but I was the first one that contacted them, and it says we found them together. I may have said we lived together, but either way, and they can always contact back if they've let the owner know somebody's found your keys, and they're like, okay, what's happening with my keys? Anywho, but yeah, I know that they'd comment for the first while. Yeah, some notifications go to email, some don't. Likes don't seem to necessarily. Again, it was just a method I tried. Lots of people say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to going to the restaurant," or "Oh, I really miss so and so." People do this. It's the internet. They post their feelings. They post their thoughts. It's just what they do. Now, I just realized that I suppose I should have that phone up here with me. Actually, it is. That's right. And it's ironically because we found the second one and he went and charged it. He was reaching into the couch. And I put it in this pile of stuff with that I'm unfortunately not actively working on show ideas for my friend. Wait, go back? What? I haven't gotten new ideas, unfortunately. Hopefully, if I'm reloading this page, yeah, that's a different one. If I'm reloading this page, okay. I'm glad that it showed. I had to reload the newsfeed 2 or 3 times for it to show up again, but here it is. Actually, it was actually in that men's mental health group, ironically. And I might comment this, although I might not. But then I want to remember to go back to the other thing. I don't understand why some posts have an OB, like an object OBJ symbol under them. I guess it's an emoji, but why doesn't it show them? Um, did the you know what just a couple days ago. Well, this clock is fast, but yeah, I guess it's just 9:30 now. I'm being a little bit distracted on this post and also wanting to post it with like any idiots. I know it's not easy, but delete their comments and ignore them. Um, I guess it doesn't really matter what theirs is. But yeah, I don't know. I guess in my comment said I am and it's a journey, which is essentially why it took me so long. I just want to touch on something really quickly, though, that I believe that you don't have to fully, you're never going to like everything about yourself or about someone else. And it's ironic, actually, that statement, because of something that's on my mind after seeing this post. And the thing is that sometimes someone else's love can help you love yourself more. And also, it's great to be able to give it back. So, but you have to love yourself part, I think it's a little BS, I think. You have to be not like a complete downer who, can't see anything positive. Anywho, I think that the person that posted it may be a little dumb though. Because there's a couple comments that this post has gotten that I thought were, and I don't think, I mean, I can be sensitive sometimes, but, and anyone can misunderstand things, but like, I don't know. Yeah, it would be hard to, experience visitation that I couldn't share with this one particular person, though. I'm gonna have to change shirts and not sleep in this one if it's gonna be this weird. Like it either exposes too much of my neck or it's too stretched down my chest. I don't know what's up with this shirt, but anyway, I do actually kind of know that it was like that. But I mean, haven't I been wearing it most of the day? Yeah, so I don't know. Anyhow, and not just today. Just go to block some unsupported people on this person's post. That's a pretty common French name. But and one of them was in a nearby province, actually. I guess that's where my friend ended up. Go, oh, yeah, we're only certain people because of the way he is. 1 year enforced will fix it. I don't follow that either. I came across this person before. They look a bit like Kiss Mix Marilyn Manson, LGB Rainbow, Black Metal, Boot, Fuck, Realism, Communist Capitalist, Anti Know Your History. Maybe that's not the the name is the same, but I think they updated that because there was something else that I remembered seeing that I don't see about them now. I don't know. Oh, that looks like somebody praying into a room. Yeah, that's different. But anyway, yeah, I guess he can come here as poly is a thing. Wow, that was deep how that just transpired. And I've commented 2 or 3 other things, and there might be replies to it now. But yeah, River Gorse is just a common name. But This person, the partner just came out of something, not that they wouldn't still necessarily be attracted to them or whatever. And the one commenter is about polygyny and is saying, and basically, I don't think this is how, and the baseball's grateful, but whatever, I'll try and support him. I should stop doing it on post though because he might be a client. Basically, it was the guy saying, I'd be thankful they found the confidence to entrust their feelings with you. Not everyone can do that. And for some reason, right away said, true, as I wait to hear back from a friend whose husband took his life, though for other reasons, be glad they decided to instead be honest. Please keep your love for each other. There was somebody named Spooner, and then I suddenly saw the word sooner and thought that was connected. Anywho, I do feel that Mike wants to quickly come in and say, great if you have a nice reconnection with my wife. Great if you can bring me into it. But my wife knows that in my ways I'm always with her. And just a moment, okay? Thanks. You in the washroom? Okay, I'll be done in about 10 minutes. Okay. I don't know why it's closed, but it is. Maybe there's an angel in there. Just kidding. Yeah, I can't believe this other one with all the planes. But anyway, point of the matter being, and yeah, the thing is that she must be the hardest person to reach. I mean, in like actual sense, unless you're local to her and go to the place they work at, because she operates it like Monday through Friday. No, Monday. I think it said 7 days a week, including some holidays. From like I think 11 or 12 to 12 or something like that. Talk about having much else. You must really love it, and I think that he's actually saying that since his passing, even though it's been very hard, he has been reminded, thankfully, of how important their business is to them, is to her, is to the family. He says she could have easily just said, I'm closing for good now, and it almost happened. But he says, so many people appreciated them. She's otherwise still very able to do this. And it was almost as if he says she heard somehow, because she doesn't do this, it sounds like. I hope you'll reopen someday. I don't know what kind of things I heard from the community. A restaurant's a restaurant. It's a small town next to a bunch of other small towns and a bigger city. So, I mean, there isn't a lot of option, I suppose. But there was one element about this place that is kind of unique, where they still would have people come up, take your order at your car. I guess it's like a drive-in. Sometimes, things have to just be a memory, and things change. But, it's nostalgia for a lot of people. And he says, as you know, I'm happy. I didn't know you well, man, but he says, I'm happy that I can at least communicate with you, even though it's been a while. And, I haven't watched you a lot. I've dipped in a couple of times, no pun intended. And he says, but I have noticed that you thought of me a couple of times recently, and you're trying to reach out to my wife. And I hope that goes well for you both. Your parents were good people, he says. And he says, I feel real bad about how I left the world. In some ways, I would want to do over and not do that, but I am. I'm happy up here. I really am. I feel so free. Um, I still enjoy a lot of the things I used to enjoy, and yeah, I mean that my parents ran it before I did. He says his parents, and I was very happy to keep the family business. Sure, sometimes I wanted to do other things with my life. It's not that I disliked running the business, but sometimes I wanted to do, and I don't know. Hopefully, this won't be too much more, and I can type it up to her some way or another. Um, um, uh, or just tell her it's at the end of this. I tried to be as vague as possible, but hopefully it means something to you. But we'll have to see if it gets to that. But basically, that is, did he, and it's just, kind of feelings and sensations in my mouth. Sometimes I need to get that dental work done. I found the card, and I'm surprised I didn't notice it in that orange cup beforehand. And I hope I'm not cancer. But anyway, basically, says that um, um, yeah, but his life knew that place. He says, I did some side jobs every now and then, but as you know, that place kept me and my family very busy and kept us financially able. Um, he says, of course, you have no idea, or perhaps you do, he says, but how hard it is for a man to feel like, sure, it wasn't our fault when the pandemic came, we did have to stop for a while. We both did. He says, but I felt like, and I struggled. I struggled sometimes, kind of trying to make ends meet, and I got very scared, and I thought to myself, if I can't do this for my family, why be here? Was one of the things I thought of. You've nailed it on the head. A couple other things you've said, and I know you get it, man. I know you get it. And he says, and I wish you the best in your life. From one brother to another. He says, I want to thank you for considering to purchase one of the shirts that are for sale. He says he knows I'll wear it proudly. He knows that I know how important it is to their family, how important it is to my heart, his, to this place that I grew up going to the mental health community. And he says, I'd just like to shake your hand, sir, if that's okay. So I don't actually feel his hand, but I sensed he shook his hand. He says, I don't think we need to get deeper than that right now. This is the first time I visited you. You may or may not still talk to my wife tonight because, like you say, her availability to, I don't want you to get your hopes up. Okay, again, I heard from your dad who I've had some nice visits with, that how sad they are that sometimes sometimes you have great connections and they work, sometimes they fall out, and it's just a reminder for myself. But the other thing, he's shocked, but he understands they're not picking sides. But basically, yeah, he just says, and they're closer now, just like I sometimes feel the spirit. But he says that, yeah, sometimes I just feel ignored or like there's not enough people in my circle to connect with, but they're trying to put some things in place, and I know about some of them, he says, so hopefully that will change soon. But he says in the meantime, just keep trying to be strong, brother. And he says, yeah, don't be too disappointed if you don't hear a lot from my wife. He says, you know how busy things are for her. So I would try not to be. It's hard not to be sometimes. It's almost a human thing. He's like, yeah, we're going to have expectations, and sometimes things won't happen the way we hope they will. So, but you keep being you. Please try to keep being happy. Always look for the good. And I would say that to anybody who's struggling, or anybody in general. Says it's not that I didn't do it, but he says I should have done it more. Maybe things would have had a different outcome. I can't undo it. And I'm sorry to my loved ones for that. But I'm happy. I'm safe. I'm in good company. And I just wish the same things for them. Thank you, sir. I'm going to leave. I think you want to finish up what you're doing. And take care. So we'll wrap it up on that. That was lovely.